Thursday morning, Central Georgia. You're taking a live look over the Georgia National Fairgrounds in beautiful Perry. The time is now 6:30 here on this April the 13th. Happy Baby Friday. I'm Wanye Reese. Thank you so much for continuing your morning with us. Walking out the door this morning, you're definitely going to want to make sure you grab that umbrella and jacket because we already have storms moving through our area, Alex.
That's right. We're going to be looking at more of them later in the day today as well. Looking live at the Georgia National Fairgrounds, Perry, one of the spots that's now in a level 2 risk for strong storms later on today. It is a relatively warm morning across central Georgia. Temperatures a little warmer than they should be considering that it's now the middle of April, but we're looking at primarily showers right now from Crawford County back down through northern Houston over towards Dublin. Here we go in Roberta with a light shower pulling into your area right now. This isn't heavy rainfall by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely something to turn on the windshield wipers for. Saw a few showers in Dublin just a moment ago, but as we work our way through the day today, that low pressure you see down to the south is going to move inland over Mississippi and Alabama, and that's going to bring storms once that band of rain gets here across central Georgia. Kind of looks like a tropical system. It has similar characteristics, but it's not necessarily a full-fledged tropical storm because of the way it's structured. But nonetheless, storms possible today with Taylor, Peach, Houston down through Bleckley, Dodge, and Wheeler counties. A level 2 threat down there. We'll be talking a lot more about that and your school bus forecast coming up in just a moment.
Thank you, Alex. Today, a woman is facing charges for shooting a 14-year-old girl over the weekend. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office arrested her yesterday. Their incident report says a teenager was shot after a group of women came to her Grosso Avenue home to argue about a boyfriend. Witnesses told deputies Brianna Wright pulled out a gun and shot the 14-year-old. Wright is in the Bibb County Jail charged with aggravated assault and firing a gun on a public street. The 25-year-old is being held on bond. The teen shot is expected to recover. We now have information about an arrest in a 9-month-old case. A motorist discovered 24-year-old Mariah Stanfield dead on a wooded stretch of Knoxville Road, just a few feet from the Bibb-Crawford County line. She'd been shot a number of times and shell casings were scattered around the road. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office announced they've charged 25-year-old Chandricus Ingram Jr. with her murder. Ingram was already locked up in the Bibb LEC on aggravated assault charges. The Baldwin County Airport will soon grow bigger thanks to $2 million in state funds, and they're using that money to fit more aircraft on the ground.
Baldwin County Regional Airport serves business organizations in both of the colleges and various law enforcement officials.
You know, there's been times where we've had Air Evac come in, Blackhawks come in, and jet aircraft at the same time. So it's, you know, it can get pretty hectic.
So there's only space for 20 aircraft right now, but airport manager Bruce Hood says they're going to expand the terminal ramp in the parking lot. After the expansion is done, the airport will have room to accommodate 55 aircraft. And that growth at the airport is good for local businesses who use the facility to be productive.
If I have a utility crew that's maybe in South Georgia and they have a machine go down and they need a part, I could go pick up the part and get it to them that day. And so to have a good airport like we have is very important.
It's a win-win. Hood says the designs will be finished by midsummer and construction could start later on this year. In just a few hours, the Macon, Bibb, and Houston County chapters of the NAACP say that they will hold a joint news conference about sports trainer Mark Taylor. This story still making headlines this morning. Leaders say they'll address the racist comments made by Taylor in videos on social media that have received several thousands of shares. It's happening at 11 a.m. at the Rosa Parks Square Park in downtown Macon. In a few hours, Mayor Lester Miller, Dale Washburn, and others will be putting on an affordable housing roundtable. The roundtable is in conjunction with the Middle Georgia Association of Realtors. The event starts at 11:45 a.m. at the Idle Hour Country Club. Getting you to some state news now. Later on today, Governor Brian Kemp will meet with the state school superintendents group in Atlanta and sign 5 school-related bills. House Bill 147, that targets school safety. It says Georgia educators should complete school safety and anti-gang training. It requires schools to develop safety plans and coordinate with law enforcement and the courts. And the schools must hold intruder drills where everyone in the building learns how to protect themselves in active shooter situations. The law says parents can choose to opt their children out of those drills. Backers call House Bill 538 the Early Literacy Act. It requires both the schools and the state to set up programs to boost reading education in grades K through 5. Another piece of legislation, Senate Bill 211, creates a Georgia Council on Literacy to set statewide goals. Senate Bill 440 requires schools to keep stock of a medication that controls blood sugar levels that would help people having diabetic attacks at school. Senate Bill 45, another medical bill, says schools should have plans in place and train staffers to help students with epilepsy or other seizure disorders. 6:36 on your Thursday morning. For parents and students, let's be honest, college can be pretty expensive, and Georgia lawmakers notice this spring they agreed to a state budget that would send more Hope Scholarship recipients to school with 100% free tuition.
It would also help during the future after college, so that way I won't have to worry about repaying student loans as my parents already are, and they're still paying them to this day.
Travis Lucas is going for a musical theater and performing arts degree and could attend the Savannah College of Art and Design and save $39,000. Janet Kelly with Central Georgia Technical Enrollment Services says students should have little to no debt.
As with any college, you have to buy books, you have to buy supplies, there's transportation costs, housing costs.
It's definitely a blessing. Kelly says Hope is also available to Georgia residents pursuing a diploma or certificate program that doesn't have a GPA requirement for incoming students. And don't worry, if you're already a student receiving Hope, this will apply to you as well. Next Monday, Monroe County will kick off its online registration for pre-K and kindergarten students. The application opens on the Monroe County Schools website at 8:30 a.m. The school system is asking parents to have a copy of their child's birth certificate, social security card, medical records, and proof of residency. If you'd like more information, you can visit the enrollment section on their website. It's official, you all. The Bibb County robotics team is going to the robotics competition championships. They'll be competing in Houston, Texas's first robot competition, They're moving up after placing in the top 10 in the Georgia First Robotics competition at Mercer for the regional competition. The team consists of 3 seniors and 1 10th grader, all with high aspirations and honors in school.
Well, I felt a little nervous, but I felt we could do it, especially with one of our drivers here. I feel he's a great driver. I feel we're a great team.
The competition takes place the 18th through the 22nd next week in Houston, Texas. Coming up next week, several restaurants down in Milledgeville will debut special burger creations. Milledgeville Burger Week begins on April the 17th, and there will be 16 different burgers from restaurants all around the area. You can enjoy the black and blue burger from Velvet Elvis that features blue cheese and bacon, or you can try the Southern Comfort Burger from Buffington's that is topped with Boom Boom sauce and a fried green tomato. Several other places have burgers in Burger Week, and you can meet the full list of contenders on our website. That's at 13wmaz.com. We are fast approaching the end of the school year, but for folks who like to hit the water when it's hotter, there's now one less place to visit. Plus, Scene 13 is back, which means we're going to take a look at something you're sure to enjoy as long as you like dogs. Time's now 6:39 here on this beautiful Thursday morning. If you have a dog, you might want to go ahead and get that walk in while you can, because I know a lot of the pooches do not like to go out in rainy weather.
That's right. We're already seeing a few showers out there across central Georgia this morning, but as we work our way into the afternoon, the threat of storms going to be on the rise across the area. Take a look at this. The sun beginning to come up over downtown. Current temperatures in the 60s here in Macon, 50s to the north. 61's the current number with a wind out of the east at about 8 miles an hour. 58 in Forsyth, 55 in Monticello, 61 in Eastman and in McRae, 63 in Rochelle, and 62 in Unadilla this morning. But here's what I'm talking about. A band of light rain now from Roberta back through southern Macon now, between Macon and Warner Robins, and between Dublin and Wrightsville. That's lifting to the north. That's not a solid line of rain. It's some scattered showers, but then some more down to the south. There's Crisp County down to Abbeville, moving towards Eastman here over the course of the next few minutes. New with just in the past few minutes, a tornado watch has been issued just off to our southwest. We do have a level 2 threat for severe weather today. That's coming up, getting closer to Macon. I'll show you that in just a moment. But first, that tornado watch is going to be for the Dothan, Alabama area, on over towards Albany, and it's going to stop there just to the north of Albany. But here's the threat area today. So they already have the tornado watch down to the south. That threat's roughly the same here in central Georgia. So we'll watch for that later in the afternoon. But a level 2 from Butler to Perry, Cochran, Eastman, McRae, and areas to the southwest. A level 1 elsewhere across central Georgia for the threat of damaging winds, but then also the possibility of weak spin-up tornadoes and heavy rain. Now, through the day today, Scattered showers obviously possible here through the morning hours as we saw in Future View, but then the storms come, we'll say 3-4 o'clock in areas to the southwest. So Taylor, Macon County first, and then say into Crisp County, Wilcox County, moving to the north through the evening hours. Likely a wet commute home from work and school. And then once we get into the evening tonight, beginning to dry out across central Georgia. But we're not going to stay completely dry through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. More scattered showers will be possible across the area, blossoming tomorrow right around the noon hour, but then they begin to get out of here by Friday afternoon and evening, setting the stage for a dry and relatively warm Saturday as temperatures are able to find their way into the 80s. Then on Sunday, a cold front comes through. The Euro saying a little more rain than the GFS is, but still nonetheless, both models get the rain out of here by the time we get to Monday. So completely dry on Monday and completely dry on Tuesday as well. Let's throw Wednesday in there for good measure. Now, out the door this morning, we are looking at 50s in a few spots, 60s elsewhere. Going to say 58, a cool start with those showers out there. But by the time we get to the afternoon, 1 or 2 strong storms will be possible with a high temperature right around 73. Then for tonight, an overnight low around 59. Mostly cloudy skies, looking at some spotty showers continuing across the area. 76 for tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain. 83 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. That's that cold front coming through, and as the cold front slides its way through, it is going to drop our high temperatures ever so slightly, but our morning low temperatures, that's what you're going to notice. 48 the overnight low on Monday, 46 for Tuesday morning, and it's a cold start here in central Georgia before we're back to 83 by Wednesday afternoon.